Hey guys, welcome back to Election Center, and in this video, I thought I'd show you guys my current prediction for the 2020 electoral map. Donald Trump, the incumbent president, Republican, versus Joe Biden, former vice president under former President Barack Obama. He's the Democrat, the Democratic challenger. So my prediction has changed a little bit since the last time I made a video like this where I predicted what I thought the electoral map would be. My prediction has changed a little bit, but a lot of it is quite similar. So a lot of my sort of projections for what I thought would be happening at this point have turned out to be correct. But anyway, guys, I'm going to start off by filling in the shading, so you know, based on sort of what kind of margin I think it's going to go to the respective candidates by. But then I'm at the end just going to turn them all into the solid red or solid blue, just to give us a nice picture of what the electoral map, in my opinion, is going to look like. But let's start off here. I'm just going to sort of do this by region. Let's just start off here in the South. I think Texas is going to go to Donald Trump by a lean margin, possibly. So, you know, maybe multiple percentage points is really what I'm talking about when I say lean. You know, this is one of these southern states that is trending blue noticeably, quite noticeably. But Joe Biden had a narrow lead, and it's been reclaimed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump now has the lead. So I think this is going to go to Donald Trump by a decent margin. Same with Georgia. I'm currently forecasting that's going to go to Donald Trump by multiple points. I just don't think it's quite at the point where the Democrats are going to win it. You know, Donald Trump just isn't quite unpopular enough. Joe Biden not popular enough, not a strong enough candidate for these to turn blue this election. So, you know, as I sort of expected, Joe Biden just couldn't hold on to that lead in these states. Not saying it's impossible for Joe Biden to win here, and if he loses some other state that he really needed to win, he has these two states as sort of a cushion to fall back on, that he has a chance in winning these states. But right now, I think they're going to go to Donald Trump by multiple percentage points. Filling in the rest of the South here, though, I think all these states here are going to go to Donald Trump by very safe margins. You know, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia. That's going to go. These are all solidly Republican states that I think are going to go to Donald Trump easily. But some other states here, I'm forecasting that they're probably going to, you know, surprisingly just go to Donald Trump by likely margins. Mississippi and South Carolina, sort of always been a bit competitive for the Democrats, just still kind of out of their reach. Going to the Republicans by large margins, but if the Democrats really set their mind to it, they could win these two states. Joe Biden has an off chance at winning these two states. I think they're going to go to the Republicans, though, by a likely margin. They're not quite at the point of being competitive enough where the Democrats can really expect to win. How about Florida? I think that's going to go to Joe Biden by a lean margin, so multiple percentage points. We see Joe Biden with a solid lead in Florida right now. And I just don't think that it's going to narrow up to a tilt margin or turn into a Donald Trump lead unless Joe Biden maybe really screws up or Donald Trump makes some kind of comeback, big comeback. But I right now think that's going to go to Joe Biden by a few points. Also, especially looking at the polling, he seems to have a solid lock on it. Doesn't seem like his lead is waning too much. I guess Louisiana and Arkansas, I think they're going to go to Donald Trump by a solid, safe margin, even though we've seen things surprisingly close in Arkansas polling. I think that was honestly an outlier. And Louisiana, probably just going to go to Donald Trump by a safe margin. But North Carolina, I actually think that might be just a tilt margin for Donald Trump. Joe Biden had a 3-point lead here in North Carolina. That's narrowed down to a 1-point lead. I think by the time Election Day rolls around, that's going to barely go to Donald Trump here in North Carolina. But Virginia, that's going to be a likely margin for Joe Biden. Not quite safe, but he's going to have a solid advantage here in Virginia. We've seen the state trend more and more blue. I think it's further along in its blue trend than Texas and Georgia. Maybe the way we're seeing this is Virginia, Texas, and Georgia all trending blue, but Virginia a bit ahead of Texas and Georgia. So yeah, Democrats have been winning this state a lot recently. And it's just getting more and more out of the Republicans' reach. So I think that's going to solidly go to Joe Biden. But yeah, it looks like we filled in these states in the South here. Let's fill in, I believe this is referred to as the Bible Belt here in this region. So Oklahoma, I think that's going to solidly go to Donald Trump. Kansas, we've seen things surprisingly close in the polling, but I think it's going to be just big enough where it's not quite a likely margin, it's more of a safe margin. But Nebraska, I think it's all going to go to Donald Trump safe, except I think Joe Biden will win this second congressional district by a tilt margin. It's going to barely go to Joe Biden. We saw Hillary Clinton barely lose this district in 2016, and she was viewed super unfavorably, a lot more unfavorably than Joe Biden. And we've seen the right conditions this time around where the Democrat can win, where, in these types of situations, the Democrat can win. So I think that's going to go to narrowly Joe Biden. But I do think Donald Trump will safely carry the Dakotas here. So we filled in this center region here. Let's move on here to, I guess, the Midwest or the Rust Belt. I've heard different names, right? Missouri here. This is going to go to Donald Trump by a likely margin. He won it by, 19 points, I believe, in 2016. I'm actually surprised, looking back, that he carried it by such a wide margin. I guess Hillary Clinton was just too hard to stomach for a lot of voters here in Missouri, her email scandals and whatnot. But we've seen this state be relatively competitive for the Democrats. Last Democrat to win it, though, was Bill Clinton in the 90s. So I think this is going to go to Donald Trump by a likely margin. We've seen things relatively tight in the polling right now. But, not quite at the point where a Democrat can really expect to win in Missouri. This is going to go to Donald Trump by a likely margin, in my opinion. Iowa. I think this is going to go to Donald Trump by a lean margin. We've seen him reclaim the lead here in Iowa. He won the state by 9 points. I was thinking, okay, at some point, Donald Trump has to reclaim the lead in Iowa. And so he did, just as I expected. And, Joe Biden really giving Donald Trump a run for his money here in this state, but I still think that's going to go to Donald Trump. And then Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, I see these states going likely for Joe Biden. He has solid leads here. Maybe some of these states, maybe more in the lean region. Maybe there's a case to be made that they could go to lean. Just depends on how you want to define lean versus likely. I see Joe Biden, though, carrying these states by, around 5 points. So, you could classify that as lean. You could classify that as likely. I'm sort of been classifying 5 points or more as sort of a likely margin. I think he's going to carry these states by 5 points or more. Same with Pennsylvania. I think that's likely for Joe Biden. Illinois, that's safe for Joe Biden. Indiana, probably likely or maybe even safe for Donald Trump. We see things, I think a poll that came out showed a 10-point margin there, and it's only going to get wider from here on out. So maybe that's actually going to go for maybe the first time in a really long time. I guess 2016 was kind of a safe margin, and this time it's almost just impossible for Democrats to win at this point. Just been widening. It was a safe red state, then all of a sudden it got kind of competitive, probably because of the economic troubles that were happening in that election, people blaming the Republicans. But Democrats getting more socially liberal, that does not mesh with these voters in Indiana. It is a socially conservative state. So I think that's going to go to Donald Trump by a safe margin. I think he's going to barely win Ohio. I think maybe it might just be a tilt margin for Donald Trump here in Ohio. You could say a lean, but 1%, I feel like 1 or 2%, that might just be tilt. I think this is going to, I'd say less than 2%, maybe less than 1%. This is going to go to Donald Trump by a tilt. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lean. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Joe Biden tilt. But, I'm right now just going to forecast a tilt win for Donald Trump here in the state of Ohio. Still in the Northeast here, though, this is going to be real easy. A lot of these states are just going to go to Joe Biden by a safe margin. New Hampshire by a likely margin. Maine statewide by a likely margin, but then a tilt in his second congressional district. Donald Trump won substantially here last time. It was a huge swing, but I feel like Joe Biden might narrowly win in this second congressional district based off of some data. And, Obama won it sizably in 2012 and 2008. I think this is going to flip back to Joe Biden. We see Donald Trump sort of losing these states that he won super narrowly in 2016. I guess he won sizably the second congressional district. But, maybe in 2024, Democrats won't be winning here, and this is going to go to the Republicans. But I think for 2020, this is going to go to Joe Biden. Now filling in more of these western states here. New Mexico, that's basically maybe even going to be a safe margin. I could say likely, I could say safe. Hillary Clinton won this by kind of a likely margin. So, I'll say it's a safe margin this time around. Colorado, that's going to be maybe a likely margin, 10 points or so. Looking at the polling data, we see a surprisingly large lead. Joe Biden way outperforming Hillary Clinton in a lot of these states. And so, yeah, that's going to be a likely margin for Joe Biden if you ask me. Utah, this is an interesting case. We see only a likely margin in the polling right now. I think that might revert back to the mean enough, though, to be a safe margin for Donald Trump. Idaho, Wyoming, this is going to be safe for Donald Trump. Montana, we could see this be a likely margin, but I'm kind of feeling that this is going to be a 15-point margin, let's just say, for Trump. So he's going to win. I'd say that's a safe margin. That's enough of a margin to be considered safe. So I'd say Donald Trump going to win safely in Montana. I'd say Joe Biden going to win by maybe a tilt margin, maybe a lean margin. I'm kind of feeling like it's maybe going to be a 2%, so I'd say that is a lean. I feel like this is going to go lean to Joe Biden here in the state of Arizona. It's been trending blue for a while. Democrats thought they could flip it in 2016. It didn't work out. Yeah, I think this is going to go to Joe Biden by a lean margin. Nevada, probably by a lean or likely margin. I'll just say likely for now, but maybe that my mind could be changed on that. I'd say maybe 6 points is kind of what I'm forecasting for the margin, or 5 points. So yeah, I'm going to for now say that's going to be a likely margin in Nevada. Then these states here is probably going to be quite safe. Oregon, there's a case to be made. It could be likely, but I think it's going to be a safe margin this time around. We don't see Donald Trump really improving in many places, improving his 2016 numbers. We just see him doing worse. And if it was a safe margin in 2016, it's probably going to be even a safer margin in 2020. Alaska, I honestly forecast that as being maybe just a likely margin for Donald Trump. We see really things being surprisingly close. It was a 14-point margin in 2016. Unlike Arkansas, which was just an absolutely huge margin in 2016, and I don't see at all it being a likely type of state. Alaska, it's always been, I kind of see it as reluctantly safe red. It's kind of seems like a safe red state to me, but it seems like maybe it's willing to go to the other side, and we see things surprisingly close in the polling right now. And this is just my interpretation of sort of the data I've seen in Alaska, and I think it's going to be a likely margin in 2020. And then finally, finishing off with Hawaii, no chance for Donald Trump in Hawaii. It's probably going to be a safe margin for Joe Biden. But anyway, what you see on your screen is the final electoral vote map. 218 for Trump, in this case the loser, and then the winner, Joe Biden. He gets 320 electoral votes. So a sizable margin for Joe Biden. Not a landslide, even by today's standards, but a hefty electoral vote margin, a decent margin. That's 102 votes in the Electoral College separating them. And in the popular vote, it's maybe going to be a 6-point margin, something like that is kind of what I'm thinking. So, maybe 47 to 53, or maybe if you include like minor candidates, it might be, 46 to 52. It's kind of what I'm thinking for the popular vote. But yeah, if you see here, Democrats having strength on the West Coast here, and then in this region, kind of Republicans having real strength in the South, and then these sparser states here, these large states with small populations, and then a lot of competitive states here. Democrats with strength in the Rust Belt and the Northeast. So yeah, now let's just fill in all these states with solid colors just to get a nice feel for how it's going to look on election day. How the news, right? What they're gonna be showing on their screens here. I just find it more easy to process when I see it all filled in with solid colors here. So yeah, as I was saying, Republicans winning a lot of these southern states, but Democrats with some wins. Democrats with sizable wins here in the Rust Belt. Let's just plow through here. Florida, that goes for Joe Biden. Virginia, Pennsylvania, and these states up here, all of Maine going to Joe Biden. So yeah, this is the final image you're going to be seeing on your television screen when they show the results for 2020. So yeah, 218 for Trump, 320 for Joe Biden, a sizable margin in the Electoral College, and I think popular vote. But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thought it was interesting. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments on what you think about all this. I'd like to know your predictions and what you think the margin will be, which states you think each candidate will win. I'd like to know your guys' opinions in the comments. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thought it was interesting. If you like this type of content I make here on this channel, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're going to love the videos I make in the future. And, definitely check out the videos I've already made here on this channel. Because if you're into this sort of thing, electoral maps, polls, all things elections, I think my channel is going to be right up your alley, and you're going to really dig the content I make here. But anyway, guys, I say it once again, hope you enjoyed this video, thought it was interesting, and I will see you in the next Election Center video. Bye!